Run your day with Runday.ai.
Neil, hey, happy Tuesday. How are you today?
Hey Sanjay, doing well. How are you?
Awesome. I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale today. How about yourself?
Joining from Toronto, and it's still not snowing, which is
Oh,
fantastic.
nice. Yeah, I haven't been to Toronto. I've been to Montreal and Vancouver, and but my last company, yeah, we had a number of engineers in Toronto. It was I guess housing was very complicated at the time.
It
This was
still
during
is.
COVID.
Mhm.
It still is.
They're trying to
So they
fix
haven't
it.
fixed yet. Well, tell me more about the business. What are you doing for your customers?
Yeah, so we're in the business of automating large enterprise supply chains and their interaction with their global trading partners, their manufacturing companies, their suppliers, customers, distributors, anybody that they exchange inventory with in a massive level to manage customers, to manage orders, shipments, forecasts, all that data that needs to flow in order for inventory to move perfectly. That's what our network does. We have a SaaS solution, it's AI enabled and helps large enterprises connect up with all of the trading partners and get to that end to end visibility that they need.
What's an example of a type of inventory you're commonly doing?
It's really any type of inventory. It doesn't matter. It's anything that requires a purchase order or a forecast. So we're in automotive verticals, we're in retail, distribution, really anything where there is massive amounts of inventory being managed either for manufacturing or for retail or wholesale and distribution.
I remember leaning about or learning about lean thinking, and in kind of the '70s, there was sort of this idea that inventory is an asset,
Mhm.
and then some people started thinking differently in terms of, well, you got to store it, you got to maintain it, you got to like just generating a bunch of inventory and having it sit there is more of a liability than an asset. What are you seeing as the biggest like kind of bottlenecks and challenges for your customers?
Well, we're you're right. I mean, it could be a liability. It could be a problem if you have too much of it, but it's also a problem if you have too little. So the whole concept of lean used to be with then there was Kanban and everything else that's related with it. Was it needs to be just in time and just right, right? So not too much, not too little. You need to be in stock in order to keep your operations running. But if you have too much of it, your carrying costs are too high, right? So for that perspective, you now need electronic and digital networks to connect with suppliers so that you're both collaborating real time, and there's one version of the truth in terms of the state of an order and the state of shipment. For example, is it being shipped? Are orders confirmed or are they not? And you think that that sounds easy, but think about thousands of suppliers, tens of thousands of orders at any point in time that are floating out there,
It gets very complicated.
millions of line items in each of those orders, right? And where SKUs can change and dates and shipping dates can change and prices might be varying. So there's a lot of data which you can't really do manually. And there were older legacy EDI networks that were used 30, 40 years ago, and they have their own challenges because everybody doesn't use EDI. And if they had EDI, which is electronic data interchange, it isn't real time, and there's only so much collaboration you can do. So we're trying to reinvent that and reimagine that for our customers. So a problem to solve is how do you connect up with your trading partners at scale? And if you have hundreds or thousands of trading partners, can you connect with all of them in under 1 year? That sounds, that wasn't possible for a long time. But you can do it today with the AI enabled networks that we design. Once you're connected with your suppliers, can you collaborate on real time and see data, and modern UIs, nothing, old green screen type of stuff that people were chasing. Can you see it on a mobile device? Can you take PDF, type of information, convert that into digital on the fly, consume that within an inventory management system? All of those things are now possible. And again, the idea here is to reduce the coordination waste, and that's a key principle within the supply chain. That's that coordination that's going back and forth. That's usually manual emails, still perhaps phone calls, but it's still manual and it's not data. It's not digital data. It's just bursts of communication.
You mentioned things that are just kind of moving and changing and variable. Are tariffs something that have impacted your customer base?
All of our customers are impacted by by tariffs, right? So we work primarily with very large enterprises, and they're able to obviously deal with the shock of tariff at their own pace and level. But everybody's impacted. So, it's a matter of what they're going to do with it. Are they going to bring on new suppliers? Are they going to reshore, friendshore their supply chain? There's a lot of such topics taking place, which means new suppliers need to be onboarded. Well, same thing happens on their customer supply chain. Their customers are saying the same thing. So, how are they giving pricing visibility real time to their customers at this point in time with tariff impact coming in? And you use digital networks for that, or do you have salespeople running all over the world talking to customers around pricing? That's not realistic when you've got high volume inventory moving and the pricing that just changes with it.
More about the origin story. What was your first customer or set of customers, and how did this all get started?
So we started back in 2011. The vision was, if you recall, the very first supply chains was the spice route that was set up in out of India, connected
Wow.
to far east as well as the Near East, and all the way up into Europe, into what was Rome, Rome and the Roman Empire then. And our vision was to create the new digital spice routes, which is where the name spice comes from. And the digital supply
Wow.
chains today are fully connected. We're still doing the same things. We're exchanging not only inventory, but the information that goes with it. And that's the origin story of Spice. We started off about 10, 11 years ago, and have expanded with our customer base across the world at this point in time.
I recently learned more about the Mughal Empire. When America was founded, it was the number 2 economy in the world, and about a century before that, it was the number 1.
Number one, yeah.
And spices were a big part of that. One of the things we're doing for our customers is creating AI music videos, just as a way to practice playing with the new technologies, which just became possible a couple months ago. I created a AI music video on the Mughal Empire. I'll send that over to you after a call.
There's a joke behind that. The Romans were so upset, they didn't get as far as India as part of their conquest strategy, but they really did think about it. They spent a lot of time thinking about, they won over the world and brought all this gold, but they were giving their gold away to India for just two things: silk and spices.
Yeah.
And they're filling up their coffers. It's a funny story, but really, I mean, the trade expanded at that point in time, based on the spice route and the silk route. And we're trying to build out modern networks that do the same thing.
What a
When
beautiful metaphor.
information.
Tell me more about how you're leveraging AI and technology for growth.
So enterprise technology, as you know, has there's a lot of experimentation taking place with AI. Broadly in supply chain, there's lot of work around predictive analytics, in looking at things such as how to predict lead times for inventory based on certain suppliers. And there's a lot of work taking place around that space and analytics in general. Where we find ourselves probably playing more heavily right now is in the AI assisted automation of what can be pretty arduous workflows within our applications connected to ERP systems, etc., and really bring an agentic model to drive and get a lot of those clicks away that people have to deal with, and get to the information really fast, right? Get orders completed without having to go find data in multiple places. So we're starting to use AI for that. One really interesting area for AI is in onboarding of trading partners. Imagine if you're a supplier and connecting to an enterprise customer, there's a lot of actual technical testing work that has to be done between systems. We're basically using agents that, while you're asleep, goes out there and works with suppliers and onboards them on the fly, right? So in this guided process, agents are able to onboard suppliers and customers onto your systems and networks. We're working now on more futuristic models where our customers' agents will be working with their suppliers' agents, and they will self onboard themselves for technical onboarding of data. So there's a lot of work taking place in it. Again, all designed to reduce the amount of time that it takes to go to market when you're a supply chain oriented organization.
And what's the best way to work with you? Should they just go on the website and give it a try or contact you directly?
We're very fortunate to have our technology available through global partners such as IBM. And IBM is one of our biggest worldwide partners. And so you can buy the product through IBM, and it is sold under IBM Sterling Commerce, their portfolio. But you can certainly buy directly from us. We also partner with companies like Clio out of Chicago and Gain Systems out of Chicago as well. So there's multiple ways to buy from us, but an easy way is to just connect with us through our website.
Well, thank you so much for joining today.
That's great. Thank you very much, Sanjay.